programming workouts in regard to hypertrophy or hypertrophy, whatever you prefer, whichever you prefer. All right, I'm going to give you the honest truth. I do not. I don't. I don't at all. And I don't recommend that you do either, unless you're a beginner. Unless you're just starting out. Just starting out, you got to have some direction. You got to have some structure. But myself, very early on, I cast off all that. Very early on. I would say my first initial year, I trained at home. And I followed the traditional, so many sets of this exercise and then another and then another, so many reps of each one. And I followed all this because I didn't know anything. I didn't have any experience, so it was all brand new to me. And it's just too much. It's overwhelming. There's too much going on there. There's too much to absorb. And more than absorption, there's too much to actually experience. And that is what's going to separate success from failure. In regards to hypertrophy, is the actual experience that you acquire. Once I started to get kind of big, by then I was just having a blast. I was having a really good time. Now, I've seen Jason mention that he thinks people jump from workout to workout sometimes or whatever, or don't stick with a program because they get bored or whatever with it. They don't have any discipline. Well, I think that's basically what he said. I don't think that's not, and he said that he sticks with the program even if he doesn't enjoy the workout, that you don't have to enjoy the workout every time. I disagree vehemently. I disagree. I think that you need to enjoy the workout every time. It needs to be a passion. If you want to get this big or bigger, I've been a lot bigger. If you want to get this big or bigger, you need to enjoy the workout. You need to love every aspect of the physicality of it, the working out, the loading and unloading the bars. I mean, every part of it, every part of it. The soreness that comes with it, the eating that's required to grow and heal, get bigger and continue to gain, every aspect of it. When I get into the gym, I thoroughly enjoy my time in the gym. Even to this day, after 30 years, I still love it. It has to be a passion. To look like this, it's got to be a passion. It's not going to be, you just go in there and sludge through it because you're heading somewhere. No, you go in there and you make that gym your bitch. You love it that much. You go in there and you just shine and explore. And again, I'm not talking about a beginner that would just go in there, be completely lost, and just be chaotic and haphazard. No. There's still a great deal of method to the madness. A great deal of method to the madness. But do I chart out every workout? Well, I'm going to do this body part today, and I'm going to do this exercise first, this one second, this one third. I'm going to do this many sets of this, that. No. I don't. Do I have somewhere written down with a weight that I'm working with now, and then I'm going to add a little bit of weight, or 5 pounds or 2.5 pounds on each side, whatever the case may be, and next week, and do I have all that planned out? No, have no idea. Couldn't even really tell you. Could venture to guess just based on the weights that I move around, but I have a pretty good idea. But no, I don't do any of that. To me, that would gut the whole experience. That would be just stripping the soul right out of what I do in the gym. I would never have stuck with it this long. If I had to be one, no offense to you guys, if that's what works for you, I understand that. Many people are much more organized than I am, and they're list makers anyway. Val, for example, a list maker. She makes lists on everything, and she gets things done. She follows through, and she's precise, and that's her methodology. She's a list maker. Me, not so much. And in the gym, if I had to be one of these people that carried around a notepad, and I'm looking at this notepad and I'm jotting things down, or I guess today it's your phone, right? But I don't have one of those smartphones, so it wouldn't be me. It would be a notepad, mechanical pencil. If I had to be one of those guys that carried it around and jotted all this shit down, I wouldn't have stuck with it this long. That's soul crushing to me. It is. It just strips the life out of it, the passion out of it, the love affair that I have with the iron in that regard. So I think number one, you need to learn to love it. It needs to be a passion. You can't be doing it for any other dumbass reason. It's got to be you who need to fall in love with the experience of it. You know, you start out because you want to look better, improve the way you look. I'm talking about hypertrophy now, okay? If that's your goal. You want to be bigger, you know, you maybe feel inadequate, maybe you feel like you're small, maybe you're undersized compared to other people. You think so, or you're underweight, or whatever your perception is. There's a reason. There's a physical reason. You're looking for an outcome, and it's why you're in there training for hypertrophy, right? You're trying to build muscle. But that can't remain the primary motivating factor for you to be there. Certainly, you must experience success. Does it look like I'm not familiar, you know, and acquainted with success in those regards? Of course I am. So you need to experience success, but you need to be able to freelance enough that you can go into the gym and you can have a great time. You need to go in there and cast off all your demons that, you know, have piled up that day or the past 2 days or whatever the case may be. Your mind should be completely clear. All of that, it should be very therapeutic and cathartic. And you should have a good time. And literally, I know exactly what I'm doing. I don't have to have it pre-planned. I can go in there. Okay, the difference is, you ever seen some of these chefs and some of these cooks, they have to have a recipe and they have to have every little measurement and every little increment, and it's all measured out and every other thing and everything. Now, my grandmother was an incredible cook. Old school, and she would just have a pinch of this, a dash of that, and literally, if she had to write down on a piece of paper a recipe for someone to be able to reproduce, she had a very difficult time in doing that because she really didn't measure anything. She had been doing this so long, and it was a passion, that she just knew what flavorings and spices and what to do, where to do it, and how much, without having to resort to actual measurements and weights. That's kind of how it is. I know precisely what I'm doing. There's absolutely a design in there, of course, because I'm looking to succeed and improve my physique. And I do succeed at that again and again. Every time I go into the gym, it's a win. It's always a win. But it doesn't have to be so packaged, pre-packaged, and like bought and paid for almost, that it can be contained on a piece of paper and that this is today, this is tomorrow, no. I've never been that guy. Literally, if I even have it in mind, I'm going to do this and I'm going to go do that, and I go over to do that, and it just doesn't feel right for me on that given moment in time, I'll just shit can that and go right to something else that wasn't even in my mind and just think, you know what, I'm going to go do this instead. Because what I'm trying to relate to you is, ultimately, need to become acquainted with a feel. You're looking for a feel in the muscles. You need to be able to understand what success feels like as far as something that's going to generate hypertrophy. You need to be well acquainted with what that feels like. You know, it's a place you need to get these muscles to. How you get there doesn't make a hill of beans difference in how you do it, as long as you get there. As long as you get there. Literally, I know people are going to say, oh, this bullshit. It doesn't matter how you get there, as long as you get there. If you do the same and you inflict the same stress on that muscle, the same intensity, no matter how you accomplished it, it doesn't matter, you're still going to succeed as far as hypertrophy goes, okay? Now, as far as strength training, you know, I trained with some of the top world record holding at the time, current world record holding powerlifters, like bunches of them, not just one or two, on the regular, every day, you know, and I was a strong guy, of course. I wasn't strong like them, but I was very, very strong for a bodybuilder. And, you know, the strength that I developed, and which included well over 500-pound bench press raw. And I'm not just going to throw numbers out there because it sounds like I'm tooting my own horn, but people have trained with me. They know what's up with that, well over that. So the strength that I developed still, you know, I've showed you on a board where I charted on a piece of paper. That's how I used to do things when I was trying to develop strength. But even then, I told you that was only my first exercise. Okay? How many times have I told you? Even coming up, I would go in and I'm going to do, if it's going to be what you traditionally would call or label, that's a chest workout day or something, right? If you're going to put a label on it, then I would do bench first, flat bench. All right? Then I would, leg days could be barbell back squat, first. Then back days could be my deadlifts first. Then after that, it's just freelance city. It's freelance city for me. Still, there's some thought in it. Of course, there's a lot of thought in it. There's a lot of experience in that. A great deal of experience, successful, positive experience that goes behind, my exercise selection and the weights and every other thing. But literally, I know where I have to take the body, and that feel, it's still in totality embodies progressive resistance. It still achieves the requirements of being in the category of a progressive resistance workout. Of course, still progressive resistance, but not in the traditional way that you think, that week to week to week, you chart this out and it's the same redundant shit again and again and again, but the weights are slowly escalating, or maybe the reps are, or there's some type of progress there. There's always progress, but it could be boundless sorts of ways. I mean, just stop to think about that. If somebody told you all you have to do is more reps than last time, last time what? More reps on how many variations of exercises are there out there? I could only do X amount of reps with this weight. Now I can do this, or this time I'm going to do 10 sets with this because I'm not going to do so many different exercises. I'm going to do 10 sets of this one, and I'm going to run moderately heavy poundage as I'm still going to hit 12 to 15 reps. Maybe I might go up to 20 this time. I'm feeling really good, 18 or 20 reps, and maybe I'll go heavier because it's a good day for me, because your strength isn't going to be exactly the same from day to day. So I run a wide variety of stuff. So am I telling you go out tomorrow and do this? No. But I am telling you that most guys my size and bigger, this is how we actually do it. It's how it's actually done. Don't have to believe me. Ask somebody like Jay Cutler, ask somebody like that. If they, exactly, you have an idea what you're going to do. Or Jose Raymond, I used to train with the guy, has an idea what he's going to do, but there's so many things that you can substitute, switch around, and you don't have to become enslaved. You go by feel. How you're feeling on that given day and space and time at that moment, what can you do? You push that, you try to do more every time. It's progressive resistance. Okay, you can say it's not if you want to, but guess what? The proof is in the pudding as always, and this isn't even me really that big. So I think that those are two key things to walk away from this to take away is it needs to be a passion. You need to be in love with it, and you need to enjoy your time in the gym. You got to have you have to have fun. It has to be fun. I love it. It has to be fun. The next thing is that it kind of goes almost alongside of enjoying yourself. You have to be willing to expand, okay? Explore the room, Like in my case, I have all kind of free weights here. So when I go into the gym, I'm looking at all the things I don't have. You understand? Anyway, I guess that's about it. I've never been one of these guys to really, chart things out like that. Everything else, it's more of like I told you, it's a pretty good analogy about, a cook that is able just to pinch this, dash of that. How much did you put in there? I don't know, a pinch. Well, how much is a pinch? Oh, I'm not really sure. I have to figure it out. That kind of thing.